Hello and welcome to the Trisbrina Show. Are you ready to turn up your intuition?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to turn it all the way up to 11 today. So I don't know about you, but perhaps you have found you are what's known as multi-passionate. We certainly are.
Mhm.
And multi-passionate is a beautiful thing until it causes split focus and split energy and something known as squirrel consciousness.
Or it makes you feel scattered, or you start judging yourself as scattered. And we'll talk more about that in a minute.
Well, what we've discovered, is that there is something within each one of us. We're going to call it the CI for now, and we'll explain what that means. It has a lot to do with your intuition and trusting your intuition and really turning it up so that you can hear it. And this has helped us so much deal with being multi-passionate humans. We're into so many things, like I'm sure many of you are. And I think when you're receptive to energy, and your consciousness is kind of percolating, like you find joy in so many things,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And so
You bring the joy.
you bring the joy, and you have a lot of focus. So you're actually quite good at lots of things. Wherever you apply your focus, you tend to be good at that,
Yeah.
right? We've applied our focus to live streaming, and we kind of got good at it. We applied it to dance, to martial arts, different things. We got good at them.
Business.
So then when you're either growing a business, living your life, and you have these different passions, how do you know which one to pick without feeling scattered?
Hmm.
That's the focus of today's session. So can I start with a story, or do you have something ready to roll, my dear?
I would love to hear your story.
Aw, she's so sweet. I love this. I feel so loved right now. Okay, I was reading a book a couple of days ago, a book I've read multiple times. And you know how when you read a book a few times, the second, third time you get more out of it, right? So there was this one section in the book that I loved so much, and it has to do with a focus that takes place in the military. So in the military, when there's a mission that requires a lot of moving parts and there's a particular outcome, which is known as the CI, or the commander's intent, everybody knows what the core goal of the mission is. When there's not a core mission and there's very specific steps and you have to do it in a specific way, sometimes it doesn't pan out the way you want to because the ducks aren't always in a row. So what they did, for example, let's say you're a Navy SEAL and you're part of a team, you're part of Bravo team, and your next mission is to save some hostages and bring them back to the home base. That's the goal. That's the end result. No matter what happens on the mission,
Hmm.
anything gets squirrely, anything goes wrong, you always come back and you ask yourself, what's the mission? What's the commander's intent? And based on that, you'll know what the next best move is.
Yeah.
Well, we've been doing that in our life and in our business, is by finding out what's the core intent. What's the conscious intent behind all the things?
Hmm.
And so that's really given me perspective into knowing what to do right now,
Hmm.
right? You always bring that up, like, yes, there can be many things, and it doesn't mean you only pick this one thing and that's all you get,
Yeah.
right? I know that helped you a lot too.
Hmm.
I'm done with my story.
There is a core mission and a core intent to so many categories. We can go big picture, like they say, like the purpose of your life. But I think for those of us that are multi-passionate, it may feel like living a purposeful life with many, many flavors. And I judged myself a lot. And now I realize it's actually a gift. It's a gift to be able to find joy out of so many things.
Right.
I find great joy out of fitness. I find great joy out of dance. I find great joy out of spirituality. I find great joy growing a business. I find great joy helping others. I find great joy in being creative. There's so many ways I bring the joy to what I do.
Yes.
So that's a gift. Not the point of this show, but some people are passionate about something because they actually feel a lack.
Mm.
And the thing they're doing is where they go to get the juice. They're trying to take it from the thing. I see a lot of that with some of the digital marketing meetings we go to. They're usually, no judgment, but it's like it's very masculine energy.
That's true.
And these men are like, they're going to the business thing and they're getting the juice from it. But when you have the juice from that aligned place of doing all the things that we do to live an aligned life, I bring the juice and I get the juice. And when you bring the juice, you're going to have, I think, more things that really make you happy. You're more adaptable and you're more pliable.
Totally. So recently, there's been some expansions in our lives and our business, and we've noticed some manifestations taking place from getting aligned to the core intent. So for years and years, and I think many of you, if not all of you, know this about us, unless you're new to our work, we've been involved in energy work for a very, very long time. We met years ago in a meditation class, and we became best friends, and later in life went through a back healing journey together, became more than friends, and all the things that have led us to this moment have been about meditation and healing and energy work and serving others and helping people to go beyond pain and free their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And in that journey, we found that we love teaching and certifying people to be able to pass on what we've learned. So we've been passing the torch, if you will, from the energy arts of
and
Qigong.
at the same time that we were meeting, and our commonality was the spiritual growth.
Right.
Both of us had our own businesses that were taking care of our rent and our insurance and things like that.
Yeah.
Neither of us had a job.
Well, we were entrepreneurs ever since we were young, and we had thriving businesses, brick and mortar schools here in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. We're now 100% online, although we love getting together in person with you guys. Anyway, the point was that as things have evolved, as our journey has evolved, we've produced a lot of programs that are around energy healing. But then we found so many people want to teach those programs as well. So we started doing certifications, and we love it. We love, love, love. We like being the teacher's teachers, the coach's coach, because we're so into that. And then what we found was people wanted to know how we're doing what we're doing, a lot of that online. And so our passions have been multifold. And lately, we've been really getting lit up by not only teaching in our online classes that we will always do, because our saying around here is be love, serve love, make a difference. And be love is always take care of you first. Mm-hmm. So that's never going away.
And we love teaching, serve love. We love helping other people take care of themselves.
And in that serve love, so many of you are getting certified to teach our meditations, our Qigong moving meditations and different things. So we want to help you grow your abundance consciousness, and your practices. And so right now, what's happening with us is this new thing birthed itself. And we're sharing all of this about ourselves to give you perspective as to how you might be birthing something new or getting more aligned and focused on what lights you up right now. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of preferences. I have a lot of, she's like, I have a lot of passions. So does Sabrina. Massive passions, massive preferences. But sometimes when you have too many, it can pull you, like we said initially in the beginning, in lots of directions. Like today, we're so focused on this, and then someone will say something, or we'll go to a class or a mastermind, and we're like, that's cool. And then tomorrow, we're off on another path. Write in the chat right now if that's you. Have you been through that where you find yourself being pulled, but it's not fun after a while because you start building a momentum and then you lose it because you're shifting your focus?
And it all depends, right? Like the topic that we're really talking about is intuition.
Totally.
And how do you turn it up? Yep. So when I look back on times that I may have felt or been judged by others as scattered, or I have my friend Heather gave me a t-shirt that I was wearing yesterday, and it said, my brain is like a computer. I have way too many tabs open, 4 are spinning, and where's that damn music coming from?
And I can't find where the music's going. I don't know where the music's coming from. That was her t-shirt. So you never worn a more appropriate t-shirt.
So if you see my Chrome browser, there's 12 things open, and 3 of them are spinning, and I can't find the music. And but I don't judge myself for that, because every time I have felt that, because there's always this questioning. I'm always trying to be reflective. Is when I look back on it, it was that little bit of thing at the same time that came together, and then that happened, and it mixed together is how I was able to do this. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago that what feels aligned right now is only from the sum of what has gone before. It isn't that, oh gosh, I was so unclear last year when I did that. No, you had to do exactly that to get the clarity that you have, that now this is the clarity you have. You would not be able to be doing what you are doing now and juggling what you're doing if you hadn't been through all those things.
And that's where the feedback loop comes into play by trying different things, but you've got to have that CI, that core intent, that congruence. So basically what I wanted to say about the whole like trying different things and helping others with their businesses, what ended up birthing through us was we got really clear together that so there's multiple things that you pull together sometimes to make the one thing, right? So Sabrina's incredibly awesome at like,
say it again.
she's so awesome at on camera work from her background in TV and Hollywood. She's so good at that, and it lights her up.
I love helping other people
With
sparkle.
that. Yeah, she's never makes it about herself. It's always how can I show some of these skills to others and help them feel comfortable and feel beautiful and to show up lit up. And I love that. And so I always want to support that. I enjoy it too. It's really fun for me. Improvisation, being in flow, being challenged, having some fear, going through it anyway. Helping you guys, helping other people grow businesses so that they're abundant, so they're making a difference and making an income. It's so cool. So because we both align to that really, really well, it lights us both up. So we're getting information, we're getting data. But in order to get that data, you've got to allow your intuition to be open. Your intuition isn't just like getting a download, although it can be like, oh, something comes to you and through you and you're clear. Sometimes intuition is your art of receptivity, the ability to listen to inner guidance. And that inner guidance is like helping you figure out your path. And when you're multi-passionate like we are, and I'm sure you have this, you have to be able to bring it into what's the best next step right now. When you have a lot of preferences, what's the next best step right now?
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that I can find out is like what Sabrina was just saying. You have to go and try stuff and listen and feel and check in. And did that bring your energy up or did it bring it down? And so we've been doing that
and that sounds
for a while lately.
Do I need a poke?
We've been doing it lately about something we're going to share with you in a moment. How about that? Okay.
Well, so when I first would hear terms like, does this bring your energy up or down? That sounded like, well, how would I know that? All that means is energy is sort of emotional. It's like your emotional guidance system, bringing your energy up. You feel sort of happy. That was fun.
I want more of that.
You feel light about it. The
Let's do that again.
whole point is joy, right? The whole point.
Boom, mic drop. That's it.
The whole point
That's it.
is joy. No matter how you're getting there or what you're doing, the whole point is joy. So if something's like fun, like even if you say, oh, you know, my purpose is to help somebody else do this thing. Yes, why? Because I feel really good when I help other people do things. Because I feel good when I help other people do things. I'm happy when I help other people do things. So my purpose is not the other person, the poor person that I'm helping. That purpose is the joy that I feel when I help them. So that's energy. Up, energy down is, it's hard to focus. You sort of dread it. You know, it might be a block or like an issue that you have, like a self-judgment, because somebody can say to us when they first start working, well, I just really don't like filming the videos. I don't like putting my content out. And then you find out it's not really that. It's really they don't like the way they look. They don't like the way they sound. And it's some type of block from the past. And you release that and they're like, where's the camera? Film me, film me, film me.
Totally.
But there's certain things that aren't as fun. And that's when you notice that your energy goes down. It's that simple.
Yeah, totally. And so when it comes to manifestation, which is a topic that we love to share about here. I mean, manifestation is what you're creating, right? What's showing up in your life. So when you have multiple signals or multiple thoughts, multiple intentions going out, it's very hard for that intelligence, the universal consciousness, to feed you back that one thing or that clear path.
Like the intuition speaking, right?
It's basically, yeah, your signal is scrambled. And so you don't get clear intuition, you don't get clear guidance. And so that's why the commander's intent or the core intent is so important, that you know ultimately it's about joy. So that's the root. Like, I'm here to experience joy and share that joy, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Let's keep it simple. You could call it love, whatever you want to call it. It's to be happy, right? Happy, healthy human. And then from there, you get to shape that joy into how you spend your day and what you spend your time doing. And here comes the multi-passionate experience. So then just listening and tying it back to the core intent. Does this bring me joy? Does this light me up, or does it bring my energy down?
Mm-hmm.
That is sort of like your navigator. That's helping you know which way to go.
Yeah.
We talk about sometimes that analogy of the two lights, and you're driving in the dark and you can only see 200 feet, but then you can see the next 200 and the next 200, and you're getting clarity every 200 feet. So we're getting clarity every time we try something and we listen. But we've had to, there's another saying I like, it's called cut your little darlings. It's in playwright terms. When you've written a play and there's so many things in there that you just love them, they're so good, but the play's too long. It's not needed. You've got to cut them out. Sometimes you have to cut your little darlings right now. They might make another play later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think that's where I got stuck. Is I love so many things that I didn't want to. I felt like it was choose, and it is never choose. It's which first.
Yeah.
And then I have found that what happens is when I, choose a direction and start taking action, things as more is seen, some of those other things that I love can't help but be in there. Right. So let's say the charity event that I directed and created and emceed. Well, just saying that's some multi-passionate stuff right there, right?
You merge them together, though.
So it was asked, can I produce a show? That's really fun for me to bring all the elements together. And can I oversee the choreography? Yeah. Oh, then there wasn't enough dancers the first few years, so I got to dance, chose to dance.
MC, dancer, choreographer,
and then it was like,
director.
well, I wanted to MC, so I MC'd. I only danced the first 3 years. And then as far as the judges go, you guys know I love comedy, I love humor, and everybody was against judges, but I secured a Governor Greg Abbott and Larry Gatlin and a local TV guy who were more comedians. Ed Clemens. So I was able to create this comedic element. And so what happened by saying yes to the producing of it, all these other passions that I have, because it's part of who I am, ended up in the mix. They kind of come along with you. So I find the multi-passionate seems like a bunch of separate buckets and you only get to bring one, but we kind of are this, what's it called? A conglomerate, a collective of all that we've been through. So if I work with somebody in a certain way, let's say I'm helping them create their show online to get more clients, I'm going to, of course, bring all of the elements that I know about marketing to it, about copywriting to it, about calling out, about engaging with the chat, about how to be charismatic, what to do before, what to do. Like all of those things are going to come. All of the passions get to come when no matter what you're moving forward with. It seems like it's going to be impossible. Like, how will my love for basket making end up in that? But somehow you're going to find that everything ends up coming together because it's part of who you are.
That's really beautiful. So really what I heard was that you can have multi-passions and they can merge together. Mm-hmm. Look, we created a company that's a merger of all the things we love about meditation and movement and manifestation,
Look at our Satori workout that we call the wacky workout.
Yeah, it's a total fusion. So you can really enjoy the fusion component. But if something really is splitting your focus, try to uncover through turning up your intuition that core intent. Mm-hmm. What is the core driver behind the things that you're choosing to say yes to? Which ones light you up the most? Because there's some other directions that we could take things right now, but we're going with the ones that are bringing the most joy right now. And when you do that, pretty neat stuff starts happening. Like all of a sudden, we're invited to be in a movie. And some of you know about this. And so we got, invited to be in this really cool documentary about this mm-hmm. evolution of the entrepreneurial journey. And apparently they loved what they heard from us. We heard back from the director, not the director, the main producer, right?
No, it was the director's the one I was
Oh,
chatting
okay.
with.
Anyway, that some really cool stuff came through. They're very excited about it. And we're like, because we were aligned and we trusted our intuition.
Because we basically got a call. Would you guys like to be in this movie? And what is required of it is that you cancel your plans to be at
Oh,
another
glad you
event
said that.
that same day.
Which we were really looking forward to. We had to
And
cut a little darling.
yeah, we had to cut and in 4 days be in Vegas
Right.
when we had already committed. So we could have gone like, oh, we already committed.
We could have passed on it.
Sorry, we already
committed.
committed to this. And we were really looking forward to that thing. So that was a moment where we
Make a
just looked at
choice.
each other and there was no doubt. It's like, we're
Which
doing
one?
We're
Yeah.
doing the movie.
Because it was aligned to the core. So there's the core intent. There's
Yep.
the commander's intent.
Yep,
What is the
totally.
mission? To get the hostages back to the base camp. The mission is clear. We knew, even though it was a hard decision to make, we knew which way to go. And sometimes you might have 2, 3 choices, but you pick the one that feels the most aligned. And you can't do that unless you're listening to your energy and your intuition. So how do we open up the intuition? It's time to get more quiet. You could say meditate, lay out by, I don't know, the pool, some water, go for a walk, sit down on a park bench, listen to the birds, and just be open, be receptive. Practice the art of noticing and listening. It's there. Intuition doesn't always speak to you with a loud voice.
Mm-mm.
It's a feeling state. And that's why I said, does your energy go up or down? Those of
Yeah.
you who know muscle testing, you can feel it. That's sometimes how your intuition speaks through you. It can do it through your gut, right? I got that gut feeling. You can get the flutters in your heart, that inner knowing, like, oh, this is good. I feel drawn. It could be more at a wisdom level. That's what typically is intuition to me, is I got an insight. I got a download. I got an intuitive hit.
Mm-hmm.
I like to listen to all 3. So when you do Qigong, you open up all 3 because they're related to your 3 power centers. Did you know that? Power center number 1, right around the gut, that's like a chakra area. That's a center area that really can guide you. You want to crack this guy open, be in the heart? That's your knowing. That's your inner knowing. That is the most amazing. And then intuition. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I look at it.
Yeah. And sometimes, I just Skyped you something if you want to get it where we can pull it on the screen in a minute.
Okay, sure.
Intuition can just feel like, well, that was just kind of a random thought. Well, who says? Right? How do you tell the difference between what you're calling a random thought and like a God whisper, as some people call it, or this like angel calling? So I am choosing to stay aligned every single moment that's possible, so that those little things that occur to me, I mean, how else do you hear a God whisper? It just feels like a thought. And sometimes it might be like we were laughing this morning. I really did wake up a couple of Saturdays ago and I just felt like a thought, like, today's the day you should go and buy a car. And it felt silly to say it.
Right.
Right? It felt, even just to say it to Tristan, that like, this is a little embarrassing, but my morning message is, today's a good day to buy a car. Turns out the way that things unfolded, it was a good day. And there were extra savings and there was exactly the car that we wanted. And there wasn't going to be any more, blah, blah, blah. So I've had to learn, because even, I'm not going to tell the story right now, but when a man was trying to strangle me, it was an attempted rape murder. And I had this feeling like somebody's coming to kill me. I felt so ridiculous. I felt so ridiculous.
You were in an acting class.
I was in an acting class and I had to ask somebody next to me if they would walk me to my car, because I was completely terrified, because I just had this feeling. If I hadn't had that feeling, I wouldn't have taken my shoes off. I wouldn't have been able to outrun. I wouldn't have had a bag on my shoulder, and I wouldn't been able to get away. So don't disregard what just seems like thoughts when you've been doing Qigong, when you've been meditating, when you've really been living in this beautiful aligned place and acknowledging it. Every thought, I even do it as a practice, and you laugh at this. I send out our emails, and when I put a photo in an email, it's a certain number of pixels wide, and sometimes it's 350 or 400. I actually just go, how wide should it be? And it's like 372. And
I
I
did
just
laugh,
make it
didn't I?
that. I just make it that to practice. I'm not going to question why
Mhm.
that popped into my head. And that's
Uh,
me kind of training myself to listen to the first one without going, well, that's ridiculous. I'm going to do
yeah, you
375.
better trust that
Because
intuition.
you know why? That would be me going, somebody might be coming to kill me, but probably tomorrow. Right? No.
Yeah,
You just listen
yeah,
and listen and feel, but not with fear.
right.
Even if it's just something like, I should get up earlier today and go outside. Just do it because you might see something you never would have seen before. Sometimes I feel like I'm avoiding something by listening to a God whisper. Like, oh, why don't you take that? I just thought of another example. The day that we had a garage sale for my mom, I had one garage sale sign left, and you could go to her house the normal way or this long way around that I had never. Why would I ever take the long way around? And that morning I thought, it's so nice, just take the long way around. And then as I was doing it, I said, oh, there's one more sign. I'll stick it on this corner. Stuck it on that corner, went, I didn't I didn't know. I put the sign on the corner across the street from the house that was having the open house. Three people saw that open house, saw the garage sale sign, and came and asked to buy mom's house, and one of them bought it. Her house never went for
Never went
sale
on the market.
because I just listened, like, why don't you take the long way? I
And they
did.
gave her more money than she would have
Yeah,
asked for.
25,000 more than she was going to ask for. I didn't say, why would I take the long way? So I stopped being logical with intuition, and that's how I've been trying to turn it up. Now, does it always cause three people to? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just know that
It's
if
the
I
most
don't
aligned.
always do it, then I'm going to miss the good times.
We're such an incredible energy. Our cellular state, our pure state, without all the mental friction and the split focus. Each one of us is made from the divine. So we can experience divine happenings when we align to the divine. Align to the divine.
That's great.
So intuition helps you to get aligned and stay aligned and live aligned.
That's a good meme. Align to the divine.
Write it down.
Send it to us.
Send it to us. We need to get a meme maker who just listens to our shows and makes memes.
Or send them to us.
You guys would like to play along for a minute? We are seeking feedback, which is what we're talking about today on the show.
Can I say something before we get feedback?
Yeah, and the feedback, I will land the plane with this. The way that I know what next best step to take is by taking a step first. That's how I can sit on my booty and meditate and think and feel all day long. But I'm actually really surprised, and this is often, I think I know, because it feels good thinking about it. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Right? But then I go and do the thing, and I'm often really surprised in either direction. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't think I'd like this, and I love it. And other times I think I'm going to really love this. I don't like it so much. So action, and I call it the feedback loop, is so helpful. Trust the intuition, take action, listen, follow the commander's intent, follow your intent, which is love. Yeah. Okay. What do you want to set this up for us?
Someone was asking in the chat, what do you do with a naysayer? Well,
what's a naysayer?
I don't have conversations with people. Having our community here where we all have a common vocabulary and we're of this common frequency, I will use our language. If I was talking to somebody else that maybe was a naysayer, I might use something like, sometimes I get some gut feelings and I follow them. But I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time talking about something and sometimes speaking a different language than that person has any interest in. Because what do we say? We're not in the convincing game.
Not got out of that game a long time ago.
I want, when I speak to someone, for them to go, wow, that was amazing, thank you. And I want to listen to people that when they say something, I say, that's amazing, thank you. So I don't really have any room in my life for naysayers. I hope that those naysayers find something better to do with their time than be negative. They can find something they can be positive towards, and they go and talk to somebody who is interested in that. And I think when you really have that, you start finding yourself surrounded by this kind of conversation. And it's not sad to not have those conversations, because we have friends in different aspects of our lives or different aspects of the business that I share with differently. It's not that I hold back, I just speak in ways that can help them and relate to them. And sometimes being quiet is a good way. So what we're going to show you now, we're moving to that.
Sure, let's do it.
So with our new show that we just launched, if you haven't heard, we're starting a weekly show. It's called the Marketing, Mindset, and Moolah Show. And it's to help people grow a business either online or face-to-face. And we're really focusing on helping the helpers help more people. So it's coaches, teachers, holistic practitioners, certain types of consultants, anyone that is in that helping the world become a better place, helping the good people do more good. You can sign up for notifications when the show is, what time, and how to get the replays right there.
Topics and
Yeah, the topics. We're going to do a broad stroke of topics. The last topic was all about how to do a live stream, things you do before, during, and after. But we're also going to focus on mindset and imposter syndrome, how we set up our studio, and we're going to take feedback from the chat and do episodes about that.
Your practice, whether you're one of our certified instructors or you have a business or you're wanting to, we're into supporting people to secure and own their future. With all the changes and craziness going on in the world, we want to help people feel more stable and secure as we move towards those retirement days and such. Okay.
So we had someone mock up 3 possible icons, and this icon represents the show, not an individual episode. So when we have the podcast version, it would represent it as a podcast, and it's kind of like the stamp. And so there's 3 versions, and we've labeled them A, B, and C, and we want you to look at them. And if you would put in the chat, which one do you like, and follow your intuition, that would be best for us. And if you want to say why, you can.
So you could just
and there's no right answer.
No, we kind of like them all. So you could put, so Sabrina said A, B, or C. If you want, if you find it fun, you could go, C, B, A if you wanted to put all 3 in, or just pick the one that lights you up the most, that you feel drawn to. So here it comes. And there are the 4 icons.
3.
Sorry, 3. So just take it in, see which one you feel drawn to, that you might think, oh, that looks cool. Which one gets your attention the most? What feels inviting? Which one invites you in more?
While you're doing that, I'm going to answer something Kathy said. Kathy looked at the Trisbrina Show where I did some of the exercises to strengthen your knee, and one of them was the hip exercise, and I demonstrated it lying down. I actually do that same one standing up, and I do brace myself on a chair, and I make sure that my shoulder is over my hip is over my foot of the supporting leg, because the tendency would be to cheat. But yeah, we totally do that. We do that in our wacky workouts. I'm curious. I'm so curious what they're saying.
You're picking the 2 main ones that we like. And I don't want to say which one is winning, but they're doing well. And I think it's a preference, probably.
Okay, so
color versus no color.
So far, and again, there's no right answer. People like A and B, and I love that because we like A and B. So
yellow pops, right?
Here it is: A B A B A A B A B A.
I like B too. It's more low key.
B.
If I were, I don't want to say what one I was going to pick.
I don't know.
So I'm going to wait.
A's kind of winning.
A's doing really, really well.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my first choice. I will just say that. I like it a lot though, because I like the color. But I think you guys have shared. So I'm a little more drawn to the more subdued, but that's me personally.
A's one.
So B, well, they're very close. We're going to let this ride, and we're going to do another poll. There's actually another one that we were playing with, and I will pop it on for a moment.
Maybe you could I don't know how it works, but can you put it on top of the?
I can.
Can you bring to the front?
If we called this one D, does that beat the others? If we call that one D, does anybody say, you know what? Because the other one's got real, they have really cool fonts, A, B, and C, but this is a different picture.
To me, C would be perfect if we were doing the Partridge Family and needed artwork for the side of our groovy bus. I think the yellow really pops. Tristan had some ideas like, could we write in purple on A?
Could we do what?
Well, you said on A, could we write marketing mindset and moolah in purple? And then
using that cool
and
little
then you
hook around that.
Then you also said,
edges.
could we put our name on A in black, Truscott, so that it was less colors?
So we could make a final version that's A with the marketing mindset and moolah show from B.
Basically, put
take
yellow
all the
on
text,
B.
take all the text from B and put it on A. Yeah, what do you guys think about taking all the text from B and we'd have to see it, right? Anyway.
Barbara says no to D.
I saw that. Susan, I do like D. LOL, the groovy bus. The yellow in A is better than the yellow in C.
Totally.
You can mix A with B, put yellow halo around the text. Oh, in B, Trish, put yellow around the text in B. That might be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be fun.
She's an artist,
I know. She knows. She has preferences.
I think the writing in B with the way it's, I don't know how close you guys can see, really looks like a professional show, the box around it.
Yeah. Slight accents. Yes. Thanks, everybody. Well, you've given us some great feedback. We really appreciate it. Okay. And, all your the details you guys are typing in is great because we can take that and share them with the artist. I, just so you know, built D myself and sent that to the artist to get him started. And then he took it to A, B, and C.
And then this is the good teaching thing. So then we went and looked on iTunes. We looked at a lot of the icons and what was easy to read, what was hard to read, what drew our eye, what was too masculine, what was dry. And so for a podcast or a show that is focused on a video like business, it's kind of cool to have something that looks so fun.
Yeah.
Because that will attract, like if somebody's like, I'm a corporate CEO and I'm looking for a business podcast to watch, they're going to look at our icon and go, not me. Great. Get out of here.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. That was fun. And we really appreciate all the incredible comments.
I like the text in B.
There were so many. This is a great show tonight. It was a lot of fun to share this with you. And this has really, back to the topic, the intuition and the core intent, that's really helped us move forward where we have felt split focus. And the feedback from going and doing and trying and being like, wow, surprised by.
Yeah.
And the art of listening to what lights you up. But having that commander's intent has been so helpful. And that's the center of that map back there. That's what that is. That's your soul. That's your intuition. That's your guidance system. Yeah. Always go home, E.T. go home, and move from there.
Well, I even find it, and I know we're wrapping it up, but there is a commander's intent in every little action that you do. Right. And it helps, how they say, don't sweat the small stuff. So let's say on the money mindset and moolah, like we are pre-structuring it in a very specific way, far more than anyone could just realize by watching it. But there is an intention, or our personal goal of each show, besides teaching, is this last week was letting people know about our checklist. So no matter what happens, no matter how off we get or this happens, let them know that they can download this checklist that we have. So when you guys are doing content, those of you in a business, like what is the core thing that you're trying to give the person or offer the person? And then don't sweat the small stuff. Let it just be what it is.
Totally. All right.
Let it be.
Let it be. Let it
Be,
be.
let it be.
We're going to dance it out. And I'm going to take the lady out for date night.
Yeah?
Yeah. You want to go out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I have my magnetic flashes on.
You look stunning, as always. Much love. See you soon.